Now that you've completed your first interpretation assignment, I want to go over some common errors that some of you are making so that you'll be able to get the hang of how to do this assignment even better. Of course, this isn't just for the grade. I want you to really be able to understand the Greek words that you're studying and be able to interpret them properly. So here are 5 areas that I want you to pay special attention to, and the first one is to make sure that your translation ring was the one that was for all passages. Let me go over to Logos and show you that. Okay, we're going to look at the word worthy. So you're going to click on in a manner worthy and then right click. Here's the lemma. Click on Bible Word Study and up comes your translation ring. Notice that this is set on all passages. That's important that that's the translation ring that you copy. Secondly, I want you to copy the translation and the definition from the Concise Dictionary. I'm going to go back over to Logos and show you that. This is the Concise Dictionary. When you click on this, you're going to notice that the Concise Dictionary definition is going to open up over here on the right-hand side in the information block. This is what you need to copy. So you can click on Copy, and then it'll take this word and you can put that over into your Word document. Sometimes it'll also add in other words. For instance, here's word number 517. We only wanted word 516. So if it adds an extra word, when you go into your Word document, just go ahead and delete that part. Only copy the one for the word that we're studying right now. Thirdly, I want you to be sure that you highlight the entire translation of the Greek lemma. In this case, it wasn't just the word worthy. It was a whole phrase, in a manner worthy. Let's look at Logos to see how you find that. Okay, there are 2 places where you can find the translation. One is to look at the interlinear right below the verse. You'll notice everything that's highlighted in blue is all this one Greek lemma, in a manner worthy. The other way you can find that is if you go to the translation ring, click on the Greek lemma, and you'll see all the verses there. And you'll see here in blue up above, it says in a manner worthy, or just worthy. And notice in this little salmon color, it only has the word in. That's just where it starts the translation. So make sure you use the whole translation, not just the one word. Fourthly, it would be really helpful if you would put your observations directly across from the verse that you're talking about. You see how I left enough spaces so it's together? When you have a lot of verses and a lot of observations, it can get really confusing to see which observations go with which verses. So be sure that you do that to keep it really clear. And most important, I want you to be able to make as many possible observations as you can on a verse and on the word that we're studying in this case. So it'd be really helpful if you would just highlight the word in each observation. That way you're sure that you're making observations about how the word was used in that verse. And so let's look at this one. Only conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ, so that whether I come and see you or remain absent, I will hear of you that you are standing firm in one spirit, striving together for the faith of the gospel, in no way alarmed by your opponents, which is a sign of destruction for them, but of salvation for you. Notice that I copied the whole sentence, not just the verse. Now in this case, we want to know what in a manner worthy means. How is it used in this verse? So the first thing you want to know is who's talking and who is he talking to? Well, it's Paul told the Philippians to conduct themselves in a manner worthy of the gospel. Well, what does that mean? How should they do that? Well, the gospel of Christ should cause them to conduct themselves in a worthy way. Why should they do that? Well, they should conduct themselves in this worthy manner so Paul will hear that they were standing firm in one spirit. Why else should they? They should conduct themselves in this worthy manner so that Paul would hear that they were striving together with one mind. Well, then what else would happen? Well, this worthy manner of conduct of the gospel will cause them to work together for the faith of the gospel. So ask those kinds of questions. Don't just say they should conduct themselves in a manner worthy of the gospel. I want you to break it down into lots of pieces. Look for every single thing you can possibly find in that verse about that word, in a manner worthy of the gospel. And you're going to do that with each key word, only looking how that word is used in that context. Highlight the words in your observations. That'll keep you on track. So we've got the same verse. What else do we want to know? What does Paul want to hear? Who does he want to hear it about? Well, Paul wants to hear the Philippians are standing firm. When does he want to hear that? Well, he wants them to stand firm whether he comes or remains absent. How should they stand firm? They should stand firm in one spirit. They should stand firm in one mind. And how will they do that? They'll stand firm with one mind, striving for the faith of the gospel. You get the idea there? Make as many possible observations as you can. These are just some samples to get you going. Oh, and one more thing. For your Bible word study tool, do not use a dictionary of English words. We're looking for the Greek word. If you don't happen to have Vines or some other word study on print or in your Logos, don't use the concise dictionary. We've already used that up at the top. What I want you to do is find more information. So if you go back to Assignment 5A, you'll notice that there was a link there for Bible Hub. So you click on Bible Hub, and this is how you're going to use that. Notice when you clicked on that link, it brought you to the word for joy that we studied at the very beginning. In this case, we want to look for a different word. So go and find out what the word was in Strong's numbers. Let's take "you are standing firm." That was Strong's Greek number 4739. So let's go back over to Bible Hub, and up here at the top, you'll notice the word was 5479. We want to change it to the word for, which was 4739. So go up here into the URL and take that number out and put in the new number, 4739. And go. Now you'll see that you've got the Greek word that we're looking for that's standing firm. And see all this information that you have here? I want you to summarize that as your Bible study word tool. Don't just tell me what it means in an English word dictionary. Don't just tell me what it says in the concise dictionary. Actually go here to Thayer's Greek Lexicon, and that'll give you a lot more information about the word, what the word means and how it's used in other places. Okay, that should give you enough information to make some improvements on your next interpretation assignment, as long as the word studies you do is part of the interpretation. If you have any questions, be sure to give me a call or send me a message.